You're listening to Revenza Tales. My family rules the world from the shadows. For my 21st birthday, my mother, the CEO of a trillion-dollar empire, gifted my sisters private islands and tech startups. She handed me a strange, obsidian puzzle box. She said, "Solve this, and you'll find your place." I thought it was another cruel joke. But when I solved the first layer, it didn't reveal a prize. It activated a countdown. A countdown to the total annihilation of my family's empire. And a message: the system is a lie. Tear it down. Dad. They murdered him for trying to tell the truth. Now, his weapon is in my hands. The penthouse crowned the tallest tower in a city my family owned in all but name. Filtered air carried the scent of wealth, the skyline below a glittering proof of Apex Corp's dominion. My mother, Eleanor Vance, stood before the vast windows, a figure carved from ice and ambition. She wasn't a person, she was a dynasty in a tailored suit. My birthday was no party, it was a board meeting for a family of one. My older sisters, Nora and Lila, accepted their gifts with sharp, greedy smiles. Deeds to untouched islands Apex Corp planned to exploit. Funding for AI ventures to harvest human behavior for profit. Their gifts weren't presents, they were expansions of the Vance legacy. Then, her cold, blue eyes turned to me. Mira. The letdown. The dreamer who asked why instead of how much. For Mira, she said, her voice cutting through the room like a blade. She held out an object. A perfect cube, grapefruit-sized, carved from black obsidian, swallowing the light. Its surface was smooth, save for faint seams. It was cold, unnaturally so. Your father believed in your mind, she said. He'd want you to have this. Solve it, and you'll know your role. The room tensed. My sister smirked. My father's name was forbidden, erased by wealth. To them, this was her final dismissal. My inheritance, a useless stone. I took the cube. It was heavy, faintly vibrating. This was no ordinary puzzle. I retreated to my room, a stark space designed to reject warmth. The obsidian cube sat on my desk, a dark void in the sterile white. For days, I just stared. No buttons, no keyholes, no clues. I traced the seams, pressed, warmed it. Nothing. In frustration, I snapped, "What do you want?" The cube answered. A thin line of red light traced a fractal pattern on one face. A low hum sounded. A panel slid back, revealing a glowing screen of unknown material. A message appeared: initiate sequence? Y/N. My pulse raced. I touched Y. The screen shifted, displaying a global network, nodes pulsing in every city. At the top, Apex Corp's Project Serpent. In the corner, a countdown, 71 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds. 72 hours. Text scrolled below. Mira, if you see this, I'm gone. This is the Serpent Key. Your mother's empire thrives on control, not innovation. Serpent manipulates markets, governments, and unrest for profit. It's a digital prison. I built a failsafe, the collapse, to destroy it. They found out. This key activates it. The countdown is unstoppable. You choose its target. Seek the truth. Follow the red thread. Daniel. My father. Not dead in a plane crash. Murdered for this. The cube wasn't a puzzle. It was a weapon, aimed at my family's heart, and I held the trigger. The schematic hit a clue, a blinking node in a derelict city sector, the old tech district. Using the cube's interface, which moved like it read my thoughts, I bypassed Apex Corp's security. My father's back doors still worked. I slipped from the tower into the city's neon-soaked streets, rain blurring the lights. The node led to an abandoned data vault, a graveyard of ancient servers. Behind a loose panel in a server rack, I found a prototype neural headset and a data chip, untraceable to Apex Corp. In a hidden corner of a retro arcade, I plugged in. My father's logs were a diary, not just data. Video clips showed a brilliant man uncovering the beast he'd helped build. He described my mother's vision: humanity needed guidance. His proof: algorithms to addict, silence dissent, trigger economic crashes for Apex Corp's gain. He called it the web of dominion. The final log was desperate. He knew they were onto him. "Mira, my light," he said. "Find the glitch in the pattern. The truth is in the art." The museum. My favorite piece. The red thread pointed to the next clue. The Vance Contemporary Museum was a shrine to our name. My father's favorite piece, Flux, was a digital mural of swirling data streams. Through the serpent key, the cube overlaid hidden code on the display. The streams became encrypted deals, surveillance logs, blackmail files. The code named a person, Dr. Elias Vance, my father's estranged brother, a cryptographer shunned for valuing ideas over profit. I found him in a cluttered loft, smelling of coffee and old books. He wasn't shocked to see me. "Daniel said you'd come," he said, eyes tired but keen. "The countdown started, hasn't it?" He gave me a jade data shard. "This holds the ethical limits for the collapse. Your father wasn't just a coder, Mira. He was a visionary. He didn't want to ruin Apex Corp, but to redeem it. This shard ensures the virus spares lives, infrastructure. It targets only the control systems, hidden algorithms, secret accounts, blackmail. It exposes them to the world. The collapse wasn't destruction. It was truth. My mother's worst nightmare. Apex Corp sentinels, their silent enforcers, tracked me. My museum visit triggered an alarm. They surrounded Elias's loft. I was cornered. Nora's voice crackled on my comms. "Mira, you're meddling with things you can't grasp. Bring the cube to the roof. Or we torch your uncle's place." I could surrender the key or let Elias die. I went to the roof. Nora stood there, sentinels at her side. Mother's disappointed. She thought the puzzle would teach you loyalty, not betrayal. She reached for the cube. It flared crimson, a shockwave knocking her back. A voice from the cube: biometric signature rejected. "Vance, Nora. Threat level, severe." My father had locked it to my DNA. Furious, Nora ordered the sentinels to seize it. The cube projected a glowing shield, deflecting their pulses. It was more than a key, a guide, a protector. My father's will lived in it. Elias triggered the loft's old sprinkler system, giving me cover to escape through a vent. I saw sentinels subdue him as I fled. The fight was no longer code. It was real. With sentinels hunting me, the key guided me to Apex Corp's public data hub, hidden in plain sight. My father's final backdoor led to a conduit into the Serpent Core, a humming forest of servers, the nerve center of global control. In the center was a single terminal. The key's countdown had 1 hour left. The terminal showed: initiate collapse? Y/N. A new window opened. My mother's face, calm but fierce. "Mira, stop this. You think you're freeing the world. You're breaking it. Serpent maintains order. Stability." She showed data: collapsing markets, failing governments, riots. The collapse would expose corruption but disrupt millions. "Your father was naive," she said, her voice softening. "He saw the problem but ignored the solution. Join me, Mira. Use the key to rule, not ruin. We can shape the chaos, build a better order. You have his heart and my strength. Be our future." It was power, purpose, acceptance, a seat at her side. The key pulsed, waiting. I stared at her face. I thought of my father's logs, his fear, his hope. Elias, risking everything. The lives trapped in my mother's web of dominion. She saw my pause. "Don't be foolish, Mira. This is your legacy." "No," I said, my voice firm. "My legacy is my father's truth." I pressed Y. The key and terminal flashed, ethical framework engaged. Collapse sequence finalized. Target, systems of illicit control. Safeguarding civilian systems. Time to exposure, 10 minutes. My mother's face twisted in fury. "You've doomed us," she screamed before the feed cut. Alarms screamed. The collapse was unstoppable, rewriting code beyond containment. I escaped as the world shifted. Public screens flickered, then flooded with leaks, Apex Corp's deals, manipulations, experiments. The machine of control shuddered, stalling. From a safe house Elias arranged, I watched on old monitors. Markets tanked before halts kicked in. Politicians were exposed. Governments faltered. It was messy, painful, as my mother warned. But it was real. Days later, Eleanor, Nora, and Lila were arrested. Apex Corp was seized globally. The Vance name became a curse. But new stories rose, communities uniting, independent voices emerging, a global debate on power and truth beginning. The collapse didn't bring paradise. It brought a chance. I stood on a rooftop, the Apex Corp tower dark. The Serpent Key was still, its work done. I was wanted by some, hailed by others. No name, no family, no wealth. Just freedom. My father's mission was complete. Now, I'd find my own. The strongest cages have no bars, their lies were told, truths were denied. The greatest revenge is a mirror held to the world. If you've broken free, share your story with Revenza Tales. Subscribe for more tales where the quietest voices spark the loudest revolutions.